Hey everyone, and welcome back to our latest explainer. Today, we're unpacking a deeply personal and honestly an incredibly emotional case study, recently released by Martin Patella over at Life Enthusiast. We're looking at a story that landed on his desk about a man who basically hit an absolute brick wall with his health, and how a very specific, guided intervention completely turned things around. All right, let's just dive right in. So, we really need to start by setting the stage with a fundamental question. What happens when rest doesn't just feel difficult, but feels entirely impossible? Because, the absence of sleep doesn't just happen in a vacuum, right? It literally bleeds into every single aspect of daily life. It makes even the most basic, mundane tasks just incredibly difficult to manage. It is a total systemic breakdown. When your body can't rest, your mind can't reset, and the resulting physical and emotional toll is just staggering. Section 1. The Weight of Insomnia and Kevin's Story. Now, our protagonist here, Kevin, had been struggling with severe insomnia. And we're not talking about just a few bad weeks, we mean years. This physical sleeplessness directly fuels severe anxiety and depression, and they totally compound each other. The anxiety keeps you awake, right? And then that lack of sleep just deepens the depression, creating this incredibly complex web of symptoms. It's the kind of thing that absolutely couldn't be untangled just by laying there trying to force yourself to sleep. And that brings us to a critical breaking point in Kevin's journey. As he explained to Martin Patella, without rest, quote, everything else became harder to manage. I really want you to focus on that phrase for a second. It just brilliantly illustrates the overwhelming burden that chronic sleep deprivation places on your everyday baseline functioning. I mean, your resilience drops straight to zero. Work, relationships, even just simple household chores. When you're operating with severe, multi-year insomnia paired with anxiety and depression, the entire foundation of your daily life just starts to crack. Moving on to Section 2, a tailored, guided approach, looking at a guided intervention. So, how in the world do you break a cycle that severe? Well, Kevin didn't just guess at a solution. He sought out a very specific action plan. Step 1 was a thorough consultation. Step 2, that consultation led to a tailored, guided approach. And Step 3 was the implementation, which specifically involved using a product called Cortisol Ease alongside another one called Thyroidine. By breaking things down into these clear steps, the path to reclaiming his health went from being this massive, overwhelming mountain to a totally achievable sequence. The absolutely crucial point here is that this protocol wasn't some generic, one-size-fits-all fix. No way. It was a guided wellness routine uniquely tailored to Kevin's specific needs. Based on his consultation, the deliberate strategy was to utilize Cortisol Ease and Thyroidine to genuinely support his body's unique requirements, rather than just slapping a Band-Aid on a symptom. And this highly tailored focus, well, that is exactly what sets up the astonishing timeline we're about to explore. All right, Section 3, the 5-day turnaround and those rapid results. This is where Kevin's story shifts into an absolute breakthrough. Day 1, Kevin starts the tailored protocol, taking both of those products simultaneously. By day 5, he experiences a noticeable, totally undeniable improvement in both his rest and his mood. And looking to the weeks ahead, he's fully expecting deep, restorative sleep. The sheer speed of this turning point is literally incredible. It highlights exactly what can happen when your body finally gets the specific simultaneous support it's been begging for. We really need to let Kevin's exact words carry the emotional weight on this one. In his message, he reported an, quote, almost complete elimination of fear, anxiety, and depression. Just let that sink in for a second. Within 5 days, the crushing mental weight that completely defined his waking hours was almost entirely gone. It is just a stunning contrast from his daily struggle. And regarding his sleep, Kevin noted, quote, my rest periods are noticeably improving. Now, it's pretty important to be precise here, just like Kevin is. He mentions that actual deep, rejuvenating sleep is something he believes will soon arrive. So he isn't claiming some magical overnight cure to perfect sleep, but the immediate improvement in his ability to just simply rest, to find some peace without all that fear and anxiety, that brought him profound hope. For the first time in years, he honestly believes that deep, restorative sleep is actually within reach. Which leads us to the ultimate emotional resolution of this whole case study. Kevin said, my life has been forever changed. And honestly, this is exactly why Martin Patella shared this moving story in the first place. It's just a powerful, real-world reminder of how absolutely vital it is to never give up on finding what works for you. Even when things seem totally impossible, and even when you've been struggling for literal years, finding the right support can completely change the entire trajectory of your life. Let's jump to Section 4. combating burnout, stress, and sleeplessness. So let's pivot for a minute from Kevin's specific case to how this applies a bit more broadly. Because stress, sleeplessness, and burnout, those are incredibly common modern struggles, especially for busy working professionals today. The intense demands of the workplace create this vicious, chronic stress loop that just ruins both productivity and your overall quality of life. For professionals facing this daily grind, exploring a tool like cortisol ease as part of a structured wellness routine can genuinely be a real game changer for reclaiming your focus and your energy. Kevin's severe insomnia was definitely an extreme case, but the underlying mechanics of supporting a completely burnt-out system apply to the everyday working professional just as much. Ultimately, Martin Patella's core underlying message here is all about resilience. It's about supporting the body to safely restore its vitality. So you might be wondering, how does something like cortisol ease actually help with chronic stress? Well, instead of forcing you to fight against your body's exhausted systems, it actually provides the specific biological support your body is practically begging for. By utilizing these targeted tools alongside a tailored consultation, you're giving your nervous system permission to safely step back from that ledge of anxiety and naturally dial down that overwhelming chronic stress response. And that leaves us with one final thought for today's explainer. We've seen how a tailored approach completely altered Kevin's reality in just 5 days. It moved him from a place of what felt like an impossible struggle to a place of lasting hope. So I'm going to leave you with this question to reflect on regarding your own wellness routine. Are you ready to stop fighting sleep and start actually supporting your body? Really take a second to think about what your system actually needs to find its own peace. Thank you so much for joining me for this breakdown. Keep learning, keep seeking, and definitely keep supporting your health.
My body's a temple, but the walls are cracked. Stuck in the rubble of the years I've stacked. Stagnation in my veins like a river turned to dust. Toxic whispers in the wind, but I gotta rebuild. I must.